Hi everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Bree's Creative Haven. As promised, today we are talking cats. My cat now is currently staring out the window. I don't know what she's looking at because I can only see the wall of the house next to us. So I guess she has a good view of the trees and she can probably see the birds. I don't know. Anyway, so today we are going to color in the Hikaru Kotz Cat Moments Meow Life coloring book. And I wasn't sure how long this video was going to be, so I didn't really want to do something too crazy. So I chose this picture because I thought it was simple and quick enough just to get my attention. I have 3 things, and then I have these on deck for future time. I mean, they're all good, right? But it's just, I don't know. I felt like I couldn't find any inspo to do this guy, even though I want to do it. And there's another one somewhere. I don't know. I mean, you want to do them all. Part of me is thinking about challenging myself to just pick a book and just start from beginning to end and just see how it goes. Because all the time I'm flipping through, what do I want to color? What am I in the mood for? And sometimes nothing, and that's not good. So then it's like, well, just throw yourself into it and see what happens. But for today, I think we're just going to do this one because I feel like it might be a shorter video. You guys know I'm prepping for school to be out and my kid to be home. So I kind of have a lot going on right now, which is weird because I should literally have nothing, I feel like. But in fact, there's a lot. So you guys know I have the 2 channels, technically 4, 2 that I do nothing with because they're gaming channels and that's just really hard to do. So yeah, I'm just trying to focus on these 2 channels because they're the ones that are actually more manageable to get done. So I am focused on these 2. And that is it for now. I didn't pre-pick any colors for this because it is so simple that I just didn't see the point. I was like, I don't really need a color palette selected per se. I don't think, the plants are the plants. Green for now. I want to toy around with the pinkish color that goes into these plants sometimes, but I wasn't prepared for that today. And so we're just going to stick to our simple, basic greens. Let me get my little trusty candle here that I love so much. These make me so happy. I actually have, I want to say 9 of these. Well, technically 18 because I bought 2 sets, but thank you, Afterpay. But it's like, it takes so long to get through just one candle. It's like, they're gonna last forever because it just takes so long. So I'm gonna pick out my first colors and we'll see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of edit the video and I'm gonna cut out where I'm picking the colors, but I'll show you the colors that I'm actually picking. And then we're going to talk cats as I color, hopefully. I'm trying to do 2 things at once, and that's not easy for me. So shout out to my people who cannot do 2 things at once. And yeah, okay, so now I'm going to figure out my colors, and I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So I tend to look on the cards and pick like the color next to it as the darker shade. So I don't think I've used G170 May Green. Oops. Here like at all. I don't know if that actually showed that one. I don't think I've used that one at all. So I picked that one, but then I also picked the one next to it as the shadowy color or the dark enhancement color. So we're just going to try that. And I'm a little torn with these if they're supposed to be holes or accents. So I might make them like little pink accents just for fun. So I'm going to start out with, here we have G170 for the main color, and G190 is going to be the darker enhancement color. Yeah, so we're just, funny because I don't remember using this at all, but yet it's worn off here as if I've used it a lot and I don't remember using it at all. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. So let's just start. So my cat, she is a rescue cat, and there was an animal hospital that I worked at many years ago. And I refer to the animals as the clients, and then of course like the owners, right? So one of the clients' owners came in and said that he found, I don't remember if it was that he worked there or what the situation, but regardless, he found these kittens at a construction site. And he said that they couldn't find the mom. I have no idea how long they looked for the mom. Hopefully a while, because I feel like, looking for 5 minutes is not really sufficient, really. But they couldn't find the mom, so they decided to rescue the kittens, and they asked if my place that I worked at would be willing to take them in. And I don't believe they do it for everybody, but I feel like this was like one of those clients that they were like, yeah, sure, they would do it, So ultimately they took in these 4 kittens and they all got adopted. And I don't know how, but my boyfriend at the time and I convinced his mom, who hates cats. She was afraid of them. It's not that she didn't like them, but she was just terrified. We convinced her to let us get one. And I don't really know how that worked out for us. I don't know how we ended up convincing her. That was just bananas that we actually ended up winning that argument. And so we got Gracie. And in the split of that relationship, I got the cat, which I feel like is quite common somehow. A lot of the women tend to get the cats or the dogs, which is always interesting, but I know it's not always the case. But I think he was just more into the reptiles that we had, and while he didn't get all of them, he did get some. He got most. And rightfully so, because I love my reptiles that I have, but he was definitely more the reptile person than me, and he really should have had them all. But at the time I thought that I was good and I could handle it and I wanted it. And I would say, to be fully transparent, I wish I had let him take 3 out of the 4 that I have, because it's just more his world. But at the time, I felt very confident in myself. But it is just a lot to keep up with. And so I'm riding the wave for now, because I made the choice, and you have to do your best to live with your choices. But I really don't like bugs. And the one I would have kept is the one that has to be hand fed, because I don't hand feed it. I feed it worms by tweezers, because I can't do the cricket part, but the vet told me that that was fine. So hopefully it's fine. He seems fine. So yeah, so he got most of the reptiles though, and I just have the other leopard geckos, which are simple. They're one of the simpler reptiles to keep, so if you're interested in reptiles and you don't know where to start, I would look into and research leopard geckos, because I find them, from the few that we had, the few different kinds, I find them to be the easier low-key care. They still need their heat and their lighting and stuff like that, and but they don't, at least from what I've seen so far, I've looked it up because I'm willing and able, but they don't need fruit and produce and stuff like that to go. We had bearded dragons, and they need that kind of nourishment, and so it's extra, and you got to pay more attention, and how much greens are you giving, and just a bunch of other stuff. So I find the leopard geckos to be way more low-key. So I would definitely say start there, but definitely research the lifespan, the care, and everything, it's not something that I would get again. You know, it's kind of like a been there, done that, enjoyed it while I had it kind of thing. And I'm like that with a lot of animals now because I am well aware of the care that a lot of them take. And so with my daughter now, when she asks, like she wants a kitten, and I'm like, that's great, but they're a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it's a lot more than, oh, it's just a cute little fuzzball. Because that cute little fuzzball is going to turn into a cat. And we're just trying to teach her more responsible choices. And I'm telling her, you know, it's not easy having pets. It seems easy, but once you're in it, especially if you're in like a financial pickle like we are, it's really hard. So getting to my cat, we have an issue with her. There's a mosquito on the page. I don't know if you can see it, but he wanted to join the party. I'm not going to smush him. I'm going to leave him alone. There he goes. He flew off. Normally I smush all the mosquitoes because they really attack my daughter a lot, but we found this really awesome bug cream that helps. It's not, nothing's perfect, but we found this really awesome bug cream that helps a lot. And so now I'm just like, okay, if that one gets away, no big deal. But yeah, we will kill all the mosquitoes just because of, you know, the risk and what they can contract, you know. So I'll put this up here so I know I used it. And I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to change it up and use these two. So I have GY1 and GY3. Let me double check. All right, yeah, one is the lighter one and this is the darker one. So I'm going to leave my darker ones here. I'm deciding if I want to use the blender on this or not, because then I notice sometimes when you go over it, it affects the color that goes over it. It's weird because not always. Anyway, so my cat, now I forgot what I was saying. I don't know, but what I'm going to say is, so money. So years ago, I took her to the vet. We would take her all the time, regular vet visits every year, you know, did all the things, got her vaccinated and everything. One day she started vomiting like all the time. And I feel like to this day, I feel like it's because she doesn't chew her food as much and she just wolfs it down. And this goes for hard food and soft food. She just scarfs it down too fast and then she throws it back up. Now we also have a theory on potentially hairballs because, you know, she does groom herself and sometimes what comes up is a hairball. But at the same time, it is generally just food, and it does, sometimes it looks like it's just total mush. And I don't really know. I don't do my shadows that well here. I just kind of do whatever. And I'm going to hit the bottom of them, I think. We'll see. I don't know. This shape is kind of weird to me, too. So, yeah, she vomits quite often. So when it first started happening and I took her to the vet and I said, hey, this is what's happening. Unfortunately, her vet ended up moving like a few hours away and I wanted to cry because I loved her vet. But he did all the blood work, all the tests, said she was perfect. There was nothing wrong. The next thing he wanted to do, we could not afford. He wanted to do like, I think it was a sonogram. And it was like anywhere from $300 to $600, I think. I don't remember because it was so long ago. I just know that at the time we were like, oh my God, we cannot afford that. Even I worked at the clinic and it was like, sorry, we can't afford that. So that sucked, but it did stop. So it was kind of like, okay, so at least it stopped. And we managed it. We tried different food. The food does not matter. When I tell you it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It happens with all food. Chicken-based, seafood, right now she's on like I want to say it's Rachel Ray brown rice and salmon, something or other like that. That's what I mean, I don't know what else is in it. I just know it's Rachel Ray brown rice, salmon. And why do I just want to outline everything? I feel like I might regret it. So, but she just does it. It's like if I feed her less at a time, it feels like it's better. This is not showing up as much as I thought it would. Maybe I need a darker color. I'll finish this out just because then they'll match at least, but yeah. But my cat is just, tell me if your cat, I mean, I see memes about it, so I feel like this is a lot of people with cats, but she just seems like she's hungry all the time. You know, like she's constantly calling out for food, and of course I know it's food because if I don't give her the food, she will go to her little container and she will nuzzle up on the lid and she'll get the food herself. She's just like, okay, screw you, Mom, I'll get it myself. And yeah, we try to lock the lid, but it doesn't really lock that well. And I don't really have another place to keep the container than where it is. And I don't have really money to buy another container at this point. But I think the problem isn't really that. It's just, why is she always hungry? Even when she doesn't vomit up the food, it's like she is still always hungry. And I wonder, are anybody else's cats always acting like they're hungry? And she will wake me up religiously when our daughter sleeps with us, very specifically. She will wake me up at like 5 in the morning to feed her. And I'm like, we are all trying to sleep. And here comes this little cat tearing stuff up and like just knocking things over, doesn't care, scratching and stuff. She will knock things over on the desk. She will knock over cups. She will play with or scratch at all the plastic. I can't even say it's playing because I don't think it's playing. And yeah, she'll just like go after everything until I feed her. And it's like, I don't want to do it because I feel like I'm just nursing that bad behavior, but it's also hard to be like, no, I'm not going to feed you. Okay, yeah, I'm not loving what I'm doing with the leaves here, but I'm just going to rock with, I don't know what it is. This particular leaf, I'm not the best with shading. I don't love, I feel like I'm better off with colored pencils with this one, so maybe next time that's what I'm going to try. Or maybe I just need to look at more tutorials how other people are shading these leaves because they're so weird in their shape. So I'm gonna just do this layer and then I'm gonna break away. Break away. It's a good song. Kelly Clarkson. I don't remember if I did this one. I'm gonna leave it alone. And now I kind of want to do this in a brown color, but I don't know if they're supposed to be. I fall into that thing a lot of what's supposed to be, and it's like, just do, you know? In case anybody forgot, GY3 for the other side. Just do stuff. Like, cats are not purple, and yet people make purple cats. So it's like, why am I always so worried about what is supposed to be? I don't know. So yeah, so we have that vomiting issue. But every time I get her checked, they always tell us, she's fine, blood work's fine, stools are fine, everything's perfect, there's no parasites, there's no nothing. And we're like, well, then why is she freaking throwing up all the time? And there's no answers. The assumption is always she's eating too fast. Try a slow feeder. We tried it. It didn't work. She fought that to the death. She just wouldn't eat. She was like, nope, I'm not working that hard. I can't do it. I ain't doing it. Sorry. And yeah, so I try, but it's expensive. I try to give her a mix of the food, like sometimes give her wet food, sometimes dry food. You know, if you follow Jackson Galaxy, who's like, he hates, I believe he said he doesn't like being called the cat guru because he's like, I'm no one's guru. I'm just a cat behaviorist and a cat lover. But I still say, sorry, Jackson, you are my cat guru. I love you, and that's that. But I understand he's not like the end all be all. He's not a vet. He's just a very educated cat behaviorist. And, you know, he hosted the show My Cat from Hell. And I think nobody knows everything. Nobody's perfect. But I think that he's a good one, you know? So I'm going to put these to the side for the thumbnail later. And pick my brown for my tan for my thing here, which shouldn't be too difficult because I tend to favor the same colors. Sand is where I'm going, E22, which should not be too hard to find since I just use it pretty much every time I do anything. The thing though is the food, of course, is pretty expensive. And what Jackson says, which is interesting to me, opinion, is the worst wet food is better than the best dry food for a cat. So he believes, and he has, you know, his veterinarian professionals and stuff to kind of back up what he's talking about and why he thinks this. But of course, I still think this goes back to a matter of opinion. Everyone's going to have their own what they think. And, you know, I can't tell what's what here. I feel like this is a stem and this is a stem. And then, but what is this? Is it something? Is this? I'm just going to say that these are all stems. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sorry. I just can't tell. This looks like one for sure, and so does this. I'm going to start here. This one, though, is just so big of an area that it's questionable. Is this the first issue I think I've run into like this where it's like that? I think so. I've seen other people ask on Facebook, like, what is this? What is this supposed to be? I can't tell. And it's funny because it's like that would actually kind of show why you think it's AI, but then it's also like that shows how it's not, because people are perfect and we have imperfections, right? So, but this is coming up from here. So I'm just going to color this like a stem. And no, I'm not one of the people that's necessarily going to draw in missing pieces. At least not right now. At least not today. Maybe next year, or not next year, but like once the school year starts, I'll get more into that. But for now, we've got some thick stems going here, and that's that. So, sorry. Yeah, so I think I'm going to reach for some pinks now with this. So yeah, the food, the only food she will eat though. So it's nice that he's got this theory that I can lean on with, wait, let me pick my colors first. I'm going to pick my colors and then I'll be back for that thought. Okay, I'm just going to try to go for these two, this R22 and R23. We'll just see how that ages. I don't know. Very similar. So the only wet food that she will eat, this picky cat, is Fancy Feast medleys, the bluish greenish, or I don't know, teal whatever container, and the fish ones, right? So I get her the tuna or the salmon. That is the only thing she'll eat. I have tried so many other foods, healthier foods for sure. I've tried the wet food diets. I can't bring myself to skip feeding her for more than like 2 days But she's dead set that she will not touch any other food. She's less picky with dry food, but I thought I want to see how she does on wet food and, that kind of a diet. And so I tried to get the refrigerated ones. She wouldn't touch it no matter what I did to it. If I warmed it up, if I left it cold, if I mished it with water. Literally, I tried everything. And she wouldn't touch it. And if I mixed it with her other food, she wouldn't touch it. And that was that. She was just like, nope, 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 nope. So that Fancy Feast medleys, tuna or salmon, mostly the salmon one. And that is it. That is her thing. That is her choice. I will give her about a quarter of the can at a time, mixed with water, to make sure she's getting her water, because the vets all say sometimes cats do not drink enough water, so mix the wet food with the water. And if I only give her that quarter of a cup or a quarter of a can, generally she's fine, but of course that's really not a lot of food to me. The feeding guidelines are very minimal though. So I feel like she does probably eat technically more than what she's supposed to. But the other thing is, like, I read somebody say online that their cat ended up having like thyroid cancer or something because they were doing the same things, except that their cat was losing weight. And my cat is not gaining nor losing weight. She's very steady at her 12 to 13 pounds. She does not have a weight fluctuation. Whenever we pet her or anything, she doesn't seem to have anything growing on her. She seems good. So I don't know what is up with her, but she seems to be perfectly fine and not have anything going on necessarily. All right, I'm picking out some blues for these, what looks like calla lilies, but the only calla lily I know is white, and I don't want to do white, so, or not white, well, white and like cream color, but I'm looking for my favorite, like robin's egg blue and frost blue, which is B050 and B030, which are in my pastel realm. So here we go. Hopefully I remember to put them back with the pastels. I don't like how quickly I feel like the silver part here has faded off. That's not really fun. What do I want to do here? I'm not sure. I'm still not sure what I favor with blending. Like, there's no theory here. I'm just doing random. I don't know. I feel like everything I try to do doesn't really work out, so I'm just kind of gonna go with this. If it doesn't show up, it's still my favorite blues, and it's kind of all I really care about. Like, whatever. If it shows, it shows. If it doesn't, okay. We live and we learn. I feel like I wish I had more time to really figure this out better, but I don't know. It's been really hard for me to like do this in my free time, like at night. I haven't necessarily, I guess, wanted to do it. I'm too busy, like laundry and other things. I don't know. All right, we're gonna just do that. I think is fine. Just the stippling of it all. So yeah, if anybody has any experience with the vomiting thing, at least to let me know. It's not just me. But they just really never find anything wrong with her. Her numbers always come back perfect. Her stool situation and urinalysis, everything always comes out fine. So yeah, I really don't know. The hairball thing, I totally get when that happens. That's fair. But the rest of it, I'm just like, God, How do you know how much? I don't know. I feed her probably way more often than I should just because she does yak it up so much. That I'm like, okay, small amounts throughout the day is where we're at, is the best thing. And then if I kind of accidentally give her a little too much, then I know for sure what's coming. And yeah. The only time I really get mad about it is when she does it on the bed, and I'm just like, why? Why did you do that? Why couldn't you just go on the floor? It's part of the reason my mom will like not change the carpets in the house. We've had the same carpets here for I don't know how many years. Since we moved into the house, it's over 20 years. I think it's almost 30 years. She says no, that it's only 20 something. I'm like, okay. So 20 years, the same carpets, except for one. One she changed. And I'm lying. There's two that she changed, but she changed the one almost immediately. So like, yeah, we, the other ones though, the same. My brother mucked up one of them because he was always wearing his shoes. I actually don't feel like that's bad. I'm going to leave that for a bit and see how that settles. And then maybe I'll go in later and add more color. But my brother used to practice as a DJ, a music DJ, and he was always on his feet and he was always wearing his shoes, but he would also be on the phone a lot and he would be pacing back and forth in the room. So the carpet got really gross, and my mom was just like, as most people probably would, I'm not putting out hundreds of dollars to replace a carpet that's only going to get wrecked. So, and then I think she was getting ready to kind of do it a couple of times, and then we went into the same issues with my dog kind of getting sick when she got older, and she actually got sick, and then she was vomiting and she would start not being able to control herself, and she would like pee on the carpet and stuff. And then it was like, okay, well, I'm really not going to replace anything now, you know, which is totally fair. Because again, who wants to spend that kind of money if it's only going to get all mucked up anyways? All right, I'm going to do the center of these flowers in this color. Right quick. Nothing fancy. Set it to the side. Okay. And I think I just want to keep these a little simpler. I feel like I want to do this gray, but is that too boring? But yeah, she, so we'll move on from that, but we have that issue with her. But I feel like if I can maintain giving her small amounts of food, I'm going to do this yellow. Find my yellows. Maybe some, I don't think these would go that well together, but I think I'm going to try them anyways. The lightning yellow and maybe the summer yellow. Oh, look at that, right off the gate we got the lightning yellow and the summer yellow. Sweet. There we go. Oh, my nails look yellow here, but not in person. That's so weird. All right, let's see. I don't know how that's going to age, but we're going to find out. All right, where are we here? Lightning and air. All right, wish me luck. So yeah, we are constantly figuring that out, but I think if I can manage to give her smaller amounts throughout the day, then it's better. But it's definitely kind of tricky, you know, because she's just hungry all the time, and then it's like when we're not here, I don't know. Oh, this might be okay when it dries. I feel like, you know, yellow is like one of those ones. It's like when it goes on initially, it kind of looks funky. Kind of like that as like a wave thing. Can I make it more of a wave? Should have thought about that before. I can't even see it. Okay, never mind. I'll just do a little scoop action here. All right, I think that'll be fine. Doesn't have to be perfect, for sure. All right, it's just going to be yellow. It's just going to be yellow. Maybe I'll go in with the acrylic markers after, or you know what? Once it dries, I don't even need the acrylics. I can just go in with another color and add some accents because you can't even really tell much on that. Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that. What color should this be? This I'm really thinking a gray. I really want that one to be like a light gray. So we'll go maybe with this red gray. Nah, I want to do this one, the CG02. I like that one. Maybe that's too light. I don't know. Let's find it. There it is. I don't know why everything is like so up and center right now. I had one or two that I couldn't really find right away, but so we're going to move on from food because that's her issue and it is what it is. We're working on it. But since the doctors can't really find anything, and we have seen several, I feel like that's just going to stick to a food problem and we'll see. But I can't starve her out. Like, she will wait me out and just die, I think, before she goes and eats another food. She's just that stubborn. I'd love to believe and buy into the whole idea that, like, no, she'll eventually give in, you know, but I don't think she will. Really don't. Because, I don't know, but I just can't bring myself to do it for more than a couple of days. It just feels so cruel, you know? And there's no guarantee either that another food would be better for her either, so... The BR1 is my typical go-to for soil, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, darkness. So the other fun thing that we have with her is she really acts like she hates me, but I think she loves me the most. But it's annoying to me that I like barely touch her sometimes. I mean, I'll just be walking by and she'll attack me out of nowhere. But then my boyfriend can pick her up, flip her over. He'll like pick her up and hold her like this kind of, you know, and she'll be on her back and she'll be sort of sitting up, and then he'll tell her trust fall and she'll just slowly fall backwards. And I'm like, what the heck? And then she'll just stay there. But if I try to do that, she'll try to rip my face off. And I'm just like, that is so rude. How dare you? Like, I had you for, I don't even know how many years before he came into the picture. And she hated him at first. I mean, she was hissing at him and growling at him. She was hiding in the corner. And now he can actually rub her belly for, I don't know, I can't even say, it's not a long time, but like he can rub her belly for a good 10 seconds maybe before she attacks him. If I do it, she's attacking me immediately. And I don't understand. What color do I want to do this? I'm in my brain, I'm just automatically like a brownish because side tables are brown. So I think I'm gonna go with this cocoa color. I don't know why, it's just sort of screaming out at me. Oh no, wait. I like this rose beige color. Let me do that one. BR3. It's usually easier to find. All right, found it. Can't really see it, but BR3 rose beige. That's what we're going in with. So I'm going to start down here. So yeah, I don't understand it. I'm the boss here. Like, why do you hate me? I feed her. I'm the one that feeds you. I clean your box the majority of the time. I only really ask him to do it like when it's the once a month when you have to clean out everything. Not everything. Like when you got to dump out the whole thing. Like I do the scooping on the daily, or maybe every 2 days. I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes I forget. And then I'm like, oops, okay, 2 days of yuck in here. But it's just like, I'm the one, you know? Why Do you let him do all these fun things? You know, he can like, I mean, it's kind of gross in a way, but then animals, you know, he can like take his feet and rub her face and stuff and rub her head and do all the things. And she looks like she's in heaven. If I do it, my feet are definitely getting bit and tore to shreds. And she will do that. My feet will be like hanging off the bed or something, and she'll be on the floor. I don't even know it most of the time. I always think she's on the bed. And then out of nowhere, I'm not even like moving. It's just my foot's just there. And she will just lunge and attack me. And then all I feel are these pointy teeth in my heel or somewhere. I'm lucky if it's my heel, because anywhere else on the foot, it hurts like crazy, you know? So I don't get it. I really don't get it. I'm like, what have I done to you? It's terrible. From the cat as a baby that used to sleep on my neck, under my chin, to this. And I'm just like, it's so mean. Like, I haven't done anything to deserve this. Come on now. I have done nothing but love you. I'm debating the chair, because I did one chair in purple already, but I'm kind of leaning into that as well. I don't know what color to do the chair. I'm going to look something up to get some inspiration, I think. Okay, I think I'm going to go a little more bold and just see what happens. I really can't find something that I really, really, really like. So I'm sort of settling on B080. Or no, maybe it was B090, Pebble Blue. So let me find that. Okay, so I found that. So it's B090 Pebble Blue. And I don't believe I've used this. I mean, the things are perfectly intact, these that are faded on so many others. So it's a dark, bold, I don't know. We're going to see. I'm not sure how this is going to age. So we'll see. When I looked it up to try to get the inspiration and try to get some like ideas on what other people are doing, and you know, maybe they have more experience, better color combos or something like that, I didn't find any inspiration. I found purple, which I already did, and I kind of just didn't want to do the same thing again. I found some really cool green things, but because I have the plants with the green, you know, I didn't really want to do that because it would clash. So I just thought, you know, I found a really good tan one too, but then the table too. So I was like, if I had done this in a color, then I would have actually gone with that. But I guess that wouldn't be so good over here. But yeah, so my cat, dude, like, what is up with the cats? That they just are in like attack mode all the time. I'm like, do we not play with you enough or something? Do I need more cat toys? I feel like she's not really big on, you know, the cat toys that just chill on the floor. You know, like she doesn't like to go chase after things or anything like that. I never mentioned how old she is. I want to say 13. When did we get her? We got her in... Wait, I'm going to have to do math, which means 3 things at the same time. So I'm going to finish this area and then I'm going to do the math, because your girl is not a math fan. So it'd be 2013, so 10, 12. She's about 12 to 13, I want to say. I want to say she's 12. So, because we got her in 2013, but I don't remember what month it was, but I guess it doesn't matter, that regardless, she would still be 12 years old, right? Because 10 years would make it 2023, and we're in 2025. So yeah. If the math is mathing, we're at 12. But even simple math these days is not my strong suit. So sorry if I'm off, but I'm pretty sure that that's correct. I hope that I can get this area done with minimal damages. We'll see. So, I mean, she's still really feisty. I don't know what's considered old for a cat anymore, because there's so many that, I don't want to say so many, but there seems to be popping up all the time with cats living to be in their 20s. I think someone's in their 30s right now. Like, so I don't really know what's considered old for a cat. I feel like it's just so different than dogs. You know, dogs, it's just like depends on the breed, it depends on the size. And being that she was just found as a stray, we don't know exactly what she is. We were just told the basic generic short hair, you know? So we don't have an actual breed per se, just domestic short hair. I'm just trying to keep it like wet, but I'm not planning to do any patterns or anything on this chair. I want to really also let it dry and see what the color looks like on its own. I was hoping to get more practice time with patterns, but I find it really difficult to work on these things in my free time just because my light in my room is just terrible. What we like to do is like when my boyfriend gets home, I like to let him be on the computer and play his games or watch his videos. Like we often want to watch different things. So if we have a show or a movie or something we want to watch, we'll watch it. But otherwise, it's like that's our downtime. He will watch a lot of YouTube things and or sports things, and I'll watch my own YouTube things or my own kind of movies and stuff or shows. I recently finished The Handmaid's Tale, which is definitely not something I could ever watch twice. I thought about it. I thought about like going back and watching it from the beginning now that everything is out, but I'm like, nah. It's too emotional for me. Like, it's like I know it didn't happen. Like, it's not a real situation, but so much of it actually is kind of real, So it's just too close to home almost, I feel like we've got similar issues happening, here in the States. So since we do have some rights being waived off, I feel like, maybe it's a little too close to home to watch too much, because the what ifs, even though I don't think we would ever actually get that far, you just never know, when other people are controlling your stuff, it's like scary to see that it could really happen. And I just don't want to watch it because it's just too close to home. And even like the actors mentioned it, that it was a little relevant to the current politics. So I don't want to see that. All right. So now I'm like, this could actually be a whole nother color because this could be like one of those mats that goes over to protect the thing, which I should have thought about here probably, but I didn't. Should have thought about that. Oh well. So that's this. So I guess the back should be the same. This will be a different color. So let's get on with that. But yeah, so The Handmaid's Tale, it's just certain things I really can't watch more than once. Sometimes if there's too much death, depending on who's dying, if there's like kids dying or something like that, I can't watch it more than one time. Certain things I can't handle seeing the deaths anymore, even if they're completely fake. Like, I was about to say How to Train Your Dragon, but that's not it. The Game of Thrones. I watched until, spoiler alert, by the way, Pedro Pascal. I actually didn't even remember it was him. I thought it was a different actor, but anyway. When his character died, that was the last episode I was able to watch, and then I couldn't go forward. That was the death that took me out. It was too gruesome, and I could not watch anymore after that. And people were like, that was the worst one. It doesn't get any worse than that, I promise. You should watch the rest of it. It's so good. And I just couldn't do it. I tapped out. I was like, I can't. It's just been so different after I had my daughter. It just got so different. Like, I just can't handle things anymore. So I am weak. I used to be able to handle everything. It didn't matter what was happening. I could stomach, but I would have to turn away from like anything with an eyeball. But for the most part, it was fine. Like, I could handle it. It was whatever. I could watch it. I could watch things over and over. I'm from the Scream generation. I loved Scream. But these days, I am not that same person. So now it's really hard to watch these things. So when people are getting their faces smashed in and stuff, I can't take it. I really can't. My boyfriend and I, we tried to watch the show The Boys together. Same thing. I couldn't even make it through the first season. I think I tapped out maybe 2 episodes before the end, and I was just like, I can't do it. Cannot do it. All right, this color is not as bad. I'm just taking my time, but also trying to move fast at the same time. But like, it's like, how fast do you really go? And then, I don't know. I'm playing with it now, trying to see what happens. I might be screwing myself. I don't know. It's like I never used this one before, but yet it almost feels like it's drying out in a way. Okay, we'll leave it and see how it dries, because if I go over it too much, I'm going to totally regret that. So we'll let that dry and see what happens. If it's horrible, maybe I'll go over it with, some stuff to make it better, but we'll see. So now I think I might go in with a purple for the seat and the flap here. I just like the purples. I don't know, but should I go with like a bold purple, like this signal violet color? Keep it on the bold train? Or should I do like a light one to contrast? We'll do this one. Funny enough, things always look better to me after I don't look at it right away. Like when I'm looking at it now and I'm like, eh. But then once I go back and look at it a couple days later, I like it so much better. All right, so I'm sorry. I strayed so much from the conversation. I'm supposed to be talking about my cat. But that's kind of it. I mean, I just don't understand why she's always attacking me. Like, I have so many scratch marks, which I can't show right now because I'm doing this. But when I'm done, I'll show you. It's from the other video, too. If you saw my last video that I made, I believe it was the end of the month roundup. Oh my God, my diamond art roundup was so bad. Like, I had nothing to show because it was just like, the coloring one is so easy because there's just so much, but the diamond art one is so hard because everything takes so long. It's almost not even worth doing. Okay, so yeah, I mentioned and I showed the scratches. So I have like here is one. Some of them have healed over the last couple of days. Let me see. Yeah, there's a couple here. Here, in here. I think the one on my finger healed up. So that one's good. I have one here. Like, she just gets me all the time. And I'm just like, why? But again, nothing is ever found to be wrong with her. I give her like a little credit because, or like a little grace with it, just because, like, what am I going to do, really? I'm not going to like throw her into the wall or anything. Like, that's just, she's a cat, she's an animal. We're always very cautious. That's what we tell our daughter when she wants to pick on her. And I'm like, I warn her and I tell her, don't. She's in a mood or she's being feisty. Leave her alone. Luckily, Gracie is very, very tolerant for the situation with our daughter. She leaves her for the most part. Not that she's never nicked her, but literally my daughter asks for it. Like, we tell her, leave her alone. She's in a mood or she's just not in the mood to be messed with. And she'll do it anyway. And I tell her, it's at your own risk. We don't want you messing with her. I'm telling you to stop and you're not listening if you get bit or you get scratched. It's your fault. It's never anything more than surface level. There's never blood or anything. I mean, it's fine, But like, we tell her, and when she was little, for the most part, we kept them away from each other. It doesn't show up on the camera, so BR3 going back in for the shading here. I'm just going to try to darken this a couple times because I know that you don't always need to go with a darker color necessarily. Sometimes just a couple layers of the same color will do just fine. That's what I'm going to try to do here. Is just 2 to 3 layers. I know you have seen a lot of people do that where it's just, they talk about it like layer after layer after layer till you get what you want. And I think one thing in the videos is you have to wonder, how much are people really doing? I'm going to try this here. Let me see what this looks like. Yeah, I like that. do the dotting thing. Maybe that'll help me a little bit better. I don't know how people get this to look so smooth, but they do, and I like it. So, let's see. Get that shadowing going. You know, when you try to do it, it doesn't work, right? And then when other people do it, it's incredible. And it's like, why? What is wrong with me? No matter how many tutorials, what is wrong with me? I really like Little T Studio. She does really, really, really good things. Kara's Art Studio. Is it Kara? Caro? I think it's Caro. But still, it's like no matter how good the tutorial is, it just doesn't matter if you can't figure it out yourself. I had a couple things work out, so I can't fully complain, but then there's others that just do not work, and I'm like, why? I wonder sometimes, is it the paper? Are we all getting the same paper? Because some of them are in different countries. Amazon, the paper. All right, we'll let those dry for a bit. Color are we gonna do? I'm kind of tempted to do the legs in a different color. Maybe I'll make the legs purple. I think we're gonna go with, oh, wait, that terracotta one. I don't know how that'll stand out against the other thing, but we're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. YR5, where are you? Got it, okay. YR5, going for the legs. So I would love to hear your stories if you have any cat terror stories. I think sometimes it is the fact that she doesn't have like a cat tree or anything. But we did have some of these issues before. When we lived alone for a year only in our own apartment before we ran into money issues, we actually, funny enough, it's not really funny, but we had the idea that we couldn't afford to stay in the apartment that we were in, which now looking back, we probably could have figured it out if we knew then what we know now, syndrome. But at the time, we didn't think that we could afford it. So we moved back in with my parents. We were saving up money. We were ready to move out, and then COVID hit, and then the income plummeted, and then we couldn't anymore. So, and we've basically been stuck ever since. So, but yeah, so we had a big cat tree for her, and she still did the things. He didn't do as much with her as he does now. At the time, he definitely did do some stuff. So I'm trying to see, do I want to do the same blues that are in the flowers? I want to make the things blue here, but I'm going to do a different blue, I guess. Maybe I'll do like a mint blue. I like that pale aqua mint color. And BG4. BG4 is a good one too, but I think I'm going to do G322, which is probably in my, yeah, here it is, in my pastel-y situation here. Let's see what that goes like. Love that. I love these colors. Then of course it'll be a little bit lighter when it dries. So, but in my mom's house, I am insisting whenever it's time for my daughter to sacrifice her play kitchen that she has, I am going to put a cat tree there. And I'm not even giving my mom like an opportunity to take that space up, because she does say that she wants like an open space, but this is a person who has like wall to wall of her own stuff. So her telling me that she wants an open space, I'm just like, no, you don't. Yeah, you might, but you're not going to leave it an open space. That's just not her nature. Like, I've known this woman for so many years, and it's just not who she is. She just has to always put something somewhere. And unfortunately, we are taking up 2 of her rooms, right? So in that regard, it's like, of course she's going to want to, I'm just going to put this. I don't even, honestly, R22, I don't even have a care what color these are. I just want them pink. So let's see. Yeah, it's the lighter one. Okay. That was my only other thought, was maybe I just want it to be lighter so that I can do the shadows in the darker. So they're going to match the plants. I hope you're all okay with that. Because I am. So now I got to figure out what color is the cat going to be. And I'm leaning toward that one light orange that I like. I do it a lot, but it's just my favorite. I think it's this pale cherry pink, but I like the ones in this realm here of the peachy colors. So the pastel peach I think is good. The barely beige is good. I like those ones, but I might try this R080. Okay, yeah. So we'll see how this goes. I really like it. I wish I could do them different colors, but I don't know. You have your favorites, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I just kind of want to like beat her to the punch because I know as soon as I clear that desk out or that kitchen out, if I leave it open space for too long, she's going to end up putting something there. And I really want to put a cat tree there because I think our cat needs something. Like my mom does not like her on the furniture. She doesn't like that she's on my grandfather's chair, but it's like she has nowhere to go of her own. So I can't just leave her locked up in the bedroom all the time. We do that a lot if we leave the house for a couple of hours. We'll just like leave her in the room because it's just a couple of hours. And when we're home, you know, if I'm in the living room with my daughter, then of course I let the cat out. Otherwise, we're in the room together, and that's really where she wants to be anyway. So it's not a big deal. But otherwise, it's like I don't want to leave her locked up in the bedroom for so many hours. I mean, the only reason she cries out at all is because she wants food. Other than that, honestly, she wouldn't care about being locked up in the room all day. She's fine. She's just staring out the window, watching the birds and the squirrels. So for her, honestly, I don't think she cares. But, you know, in general, you just don't really want your pets to be locked up. I'm gonna flip this sucker over so it's starting to bleed through a little bit. Yeah, I see people with those papers behind their things and they seem like they use them over and over and over, and I'm like, how? Because if I do that, mine is bleeding through. What is that card paper, whatever that people are using that is so able to be used over and over and over again? Okay, I'm good with this so far. I'm gonna get, what am I gonna get? The robin's egg, I think, and see if I can do some shadowing on the little slippers here. And I think, let's see, this is above the chair. I mean, if the chair is above the slippers, we're gonna have a little bit of shadowing here. Common sense, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to use it. It's not always working. So there's that. I feel like, yeah. So I want to get a cat tree for her. Maybe this part would be shadow too. I don't know. I want to get a cat tree for her so she has something to climb. I don't want to get like a huge one. I don't want to make it like, you know, monstrous. I think my mom would probably not love it if Gracie was like always above her head. I think that's a problem for her. I'm not 100% sure. So I want to be mindful of that. But also, cats like to be above. From what I've heard and read and learned over the years, they like to be above and watching from above, being all superior to everyone. So we definitely want to do something like that. So she has her own space and her own things, and she can kind of shred it and tear it and do all the things. And yeah, so that's a goal, but they are expensive. But I also don't have the space yet. We are still using the kitchen. It came up because she was not using the kitchen, and I thought, we're going to get rid of that. We've had her for 3 years, and it's time. Then, of course, she started playing store more. Thank you, Bluey. And it was a thing. So CG050, we're going to start doing some shadowing on here. I went like extra dark with this one because it seems like it's never dark enough. Seems that way. I kind of want to... This, I think, is just out of habit. It's just like adding something to it, even though it's not really necessary. Well, I don't know. Did it need it? Does it need it? Does it need more? Color the whole side, maybe? I can see this video was already longer than I anticipated it being. I thought this was going to be a 30-minute video, and I'm running into an hour and 20 almost. You guys, it won't be as long because, you know, I'm editing out some stuff. All right, next I need to figure out what color is the nose going to be. Color do I want the nose to be? I think I'm going to go with this little good old R22 making multiple appearances. There you go, kitty. Pink nose. Oh, you know what? This cat needs a little something in her ears. Right? Sometimes I forget about that part. There we go. Cute. Do I want to do spots? I don't know. I like this cat as it is, but I think we're going to go in with some spottage anyways. And for that, I think we'll use sand. Let's hope I don't regret it. I'm going to start with the tip of the tail. Let's see. I think that's fine. A little brown. I mean, it's not like it's unusual for cats to have brown on them. So where's the hesitation? I guess because it almost kind of looks like poop, but I mean, cats have brown. But I'm just gonna, I don't know. I don't like it as much when I get in with the stripes, but I'll do a little bit of stripe. And this is a mixed breed cat. So this cat has a little bit of both. But we're not gonna do too much because we all know when Brie does too much, things get a little crazy. So we're gonna stop there and call it a day. Little cat, little action. Maybe she rolled in some dirt. I don't know. I don't know what she was doing with her life. I'm gonna go back in with B050 here. Yeah. Also, you know what? Interesting. My cat is not a cat. She does not like other cats. We've had outside cats over the years, and she's hissing and growling and doesn't like them. And oh god, it's bad. It is so bad. I'm going in with B090 to do some shading. And so when my daughter says she wants another kitten, or a kitten, really, she's never had a kitten, I'm like, okay, well, when we don't have Gracie anymore, because you also have to know your pets. And I don't think it would be the smartest decision. I have a lot of things, I guess I'd say, in the back of my brain from Jackson Galaxy on how to adapt cats to each other, or an older cat to a kitten. But that doesn't mean that Gracie's going to accept a kitten. So I do know that my mom is like, no more pets. My dog came into this house unauthorized, and my cat was only authorized because we had already had her. I had already had her. My relationship ended and I was allowed to come back with my cat. So there was that. But besides that, you know, it would not have been allowed. I definitely broke the rules bringing my dog in, but that was another ex's issue because he suckered me in with this cute little dog and her little sad puppy face, and we were just like, can't say no to that. The only person able to say no was my stepdad, but then he fell in love with her too. And so, but now we're like, okay, no more pets. We're not doing this anymore. It's enough. We're not breaking those rules anymore. We're too old to be doing that, you know? So that's the only savior, is like, well, grandma and grandpa say no, so we can't do it. Sorry. Blame them. But also I do tell her we don't have the money. We cannot afford to have to take care of 2 cats and 4 geckos, you know? It's just not possible. So, you know, her learning that they are huge financial responsibility is important. I told her the only thing I can really afford to add on would be like a betta fish. But that's not exciting. I think they're exciting. I think they're very cool, but not for her. All right. Let's see this bowl over here. I kind of want to add something to this yellow situation. Some blue dots, maybe. They're going to look green, I bet, whatever I do. Let me see what happens. Robin's egg blue. What's going to happen if I do that? Yeah, but I think it's okay. I don't want it to be too high detail. I just want like a little bit. And that's not a cop-out because I don't know what to do. I just want something, but I don't know what. And I just want a little bit. And I feel like that's good. Just a hint of detail. And okay, we're going to go back in with the mauve. Here we go, mauve. And we're going to just do this part here. And we're going to go around the cat. So So I'd love to hear if anybody can, I don't know if there's a way to make it short and sweet because, you know, comment sections, but would love to hear your experiences with your own cat if you have anything similar or even different than mine, but like anything you've gone through. Does, you know, are you like the main person and suddenly like you have a partner now and your cat likes your partner more than you? Like, what is that? I feel like all he does is like quote unquote torture her, but like she loves him anyways. And I'm just like, what is this? It's so weird. I mean, he's not really doing anything wrong to her, you know what I mean? But like, still, it's like, I'm the nice one. I'm playing with you. He's doing the things you're supposed to hate, like rubbing your belly and all stuff like that. But then here you are and you're making him your best friend. What the heck? Like, come on, Grace. What are you doing? What are you doing? Literally just going in with whatever here. I don't know. Just adding some dimension, I guess. I'll have to do it again because I know this color is going to fade. Fades like crazy, but I love it so much. We're pretending there's a light source, I suppose, so that's where this might be coming from. I've heard people say that. Just pretend there's a light source and just go ham. All right. We'll see how that ages. I might touch it up later on down the road, like on my own kind of thing. BR3 is not the color. It was terracotta. YR5 terracotta. Okay, well, the shadows are not lined up properly. Because if it was coming from here, the shadow would be over here, wouldn't it? So, okay, there. We didn't establish that. I didn't establish that in the beginning. So we'll just do a little bit of this. Okay. But mostly. All right. I'm not perfect. Whatever. Sue me. I'm not perfect. All right. The last thing I have to really do here is the blanket and then the accents, which I think my pen. Yeah, here's my pen. So actually, I'm going to do the accents here so that they at least dry, and then we'll figure out what to do with the blanket. I could never do a live. Like, I am just so all over the place. Where do I even want these things? I don't even know. See, my natural reaction is to start over here, maybe because I'm right-handed. I don't know. But I don't know. We're going to just go here. Do a little thing there and a little thing here. And a little thing here. Maybe a little thing here, a little thing here. I feel like it's normally supposed to be away from the shadows, but again, this particular plant, I don't know. We're on another level with this plant. The leaves make me nutso. Do I want these things? Yeah, they're okay. Let's add them. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for the dots, to be honest. Today is okay. Today is a dot day. Clearly, it's a dot day. I don't know. Do you have a favorite leaf? I like these leaves. They're just so simple. Yeah, I'm just going in here. This is where I like it. I gotta definitely see what other people do. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna leave this alone. Oh wait, the soil. Yeah, need our fertilizer. This I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't even think I'm gonna see it. This I'm gonna leave. I think I'm gonna go over these because ultimately there would be some stuffing coming out of here, right? Scratch marks. Thank you, kitty. Which our cat has definitely done. The reason for me not being able to buy my sheets and giggles anymore, really, because she adds 10 years to the aging of those sheets. I recommend them, but they do have a lifespan for sure. They don't last as long as like cotton sheets. I don't know if that's all bamboo sheets because these sheets are bamboo. The sheets and giggles one. They're pretty expensive though, especially for them only lasting a couple of years. But they last even less time when you have a cat clawing at them. So all my pillowcases have like the threads pulling out and stuff, but they're still functional, so I'm keeping them. All right, this guy can do a little action here. And I'm going to leave the table. I'm trying to get myself out of the mode of putting these little white accents on everything, because I feel like I definitely got a little too into it. And then it just did not make sense. It makes sense in some places. I really like it on the flowers and the leaves. I think it adds a little something to them, of course. But I don't think everything has to look like that. Now I'm like, do I want it here? Do I want it here? I think I'm going to take over that little dot right there and do it here. And again, you don't even really see it on the yellow. So I'm going to leave the chair and the cat alone with this pen. But I am going to find R23, this guy. And I'm going to go in here a little bit. Just a little bit. And what color are we doing the blanket? I think I'm gonna do it. I was leaning toward orange, but maybe I'll do it purples. I don't know. I'm leaning into my purples again. I'm gonna figure that out and I'll be back. All right, I think we're gonna do violets, like P2, if I can find her. Here she is. P2, because it sticks kind of with the bold theme. I'm just gonna try it. Let's just see what happens. I'm gonna go in here in case I hate it. It's just an accent color. Oh god, I forgot to have my tea and now I'm getting super sleepy. I'm trying to have like matcha tea to see if it helps because I've been drinking Celsius and it's amazing. Highly recommend if you do not care what goes into your body, but I read the ingredients, but I didn't see it or just didn't realize that there was taurine in it. And I do check through the Bobby approved app, which is by Bobby Parrish. A lot of times he has like really good info on bad for you ingredients, but for some reason, taurine does not come up when you scan the product. It's an app that you scan products and it tells you if it's Bobby approved or not, which means that it's cleaner ingredients or clean ingredients and it's, you know, good for you to have and stuff like that. It's not perfect because Celsius, the only thing that came up was, I think, natural flavors and the sweetener that they use. And I was like, you know what? I can deal with that. If it makes me feel like I can function, I'll do it because I'm desperate, right? But I don't know why taurine didn't come up as a no-no. But since I learned about it, I'm like, all right, I double checked. It's definitely in there. And so I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I'm trying green tea. I'm trying matcha tea. I think it helps, but matcha tea is disgusting to me. So, but I think it helps. So when I finish this, I'm actually going to go have that. And then I'll continue with whatever my next project is, which I don't even know what it's going to be. I have no idea. Oh, I have an unboxing to do for the Diamond Art channel. So if you want to check that out, I have one thing to unbox. I'm going to do for that next, but I'm going to make the matcha tea first, I think. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. Who am I lying to? It's 9:40. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get the unboxing over with and then maybe I'll make the tea. And then I'll probably diamond art by myself off camera. And tomorrow will be my diamond art day to record. So we have that. And I think, I don't know what I want to do. This is where a live would be fun because then I can put it to the vote of the people to tell me what colors, which would be so interesting. I think I'm going to go with eggplant purple. Oh my God. Am I going to hate myself? I don't hate myself so far. I'm happy with everything. So maybe I just trust my instincts and go with it. Where are you? Oh, I found it. That one really did not want to be found at all. She was elusive for sure. Crazy. How dare you? I don't think I really talked as much about my cat in this video as I thought I was going to, but I mean, long story short, for sure, she just attacks me so much and I feel like I don't do anything to her. And then just her vomiting thing. Otherwise, she's a total love bug. She's sleeping now. And yeah, no complaints other than that. I just don't understand it. So I don't know, drop that kitty emoji if you have a cat, if you have similar issues with your cat, you know, we'll try again. We always bring up the vomiting thing at the vet. Every time we go, we bring it up, recheck. What's next? What can we do? She hates going to the vet though, so I don't like to push her too much because, you know, but sorry, we gotta do what we gotta do, kitty. But I do think it really is just her wolfing down her food too much, because she doesn't chew it always. Like, she will throw up and it will be whole chunks of kibble. So I want to try on working on getting her more wet food in her diet, and I might try, I don't know how expensive it would be. I don't know if we can actually afford it, which is another thing I'm telling my daughter. Hey, you got to be able to afford the things, you know? I don't know if I want to add, I'm not going to add anything to the table. I'm going to leave the table as it is. I'm going to leave everything else as it is. I think I'm going to just try to add more dark color to the chair. B090. Add another layer here. Feels like it's still wet. I don't know. Looks like it's still wet. But yeah, like, you gotta be able to afford things, because now I want to try some of the, like, what's it called? The Smalls, I think, is the brand. I'm not sure. It's like a more natural, you know, they say you can't get your cat all the nutrients they need if you just feed them a normal, you know, meat and vegetable diet kind of thing. You gotta add a whole bunch of vitamins to it and blah, blah, blah. And I really know I cannot afford to buy everything separately. So I feel like if I put the money invested into the, you know, people that actually make the food, not the store-bought stuff, then maybe it'll be okay. But if she doesn't eat it, then what? And mixing it in, you know, normally, yeah, you want to mix the food to wean them, you know, gently, to not upset their stomachs and stuff. But I feel like for me, with my cat, it's like she doesn't eat the food if it's mixed with something she doesn't like. So that wouldn't really work for us anyways, but I still try it. But I'm afraid that she's not gonna want to go back to her regular food. But I mean, I guess that's a risk to take. I'm gonna look into it and see. So if you guys have ever experienced this yourself, and, you know, you've gone through this with your cat, where they were like, I'm gonna say potentially chronically, you know, vomiting out like almost every time, but you found out it was because of the food, you know, let me know what you did to change it. We're not finding that she's got a necessary like allergy, although there is a treat that she had, and it was I think it was chicken based. So I do kind of think she has a sensitivity to chicken, but it's also really, really hard to find a food that doesn't have more than one meat in it, you know? Like, they just seem to all have both, which is like super annoying, because then if you have someone with a sensitivity, I don't want to be constantly having to buy like the Hills brand. I don't actually think Hills is that great for you or for them, you know? And anyway, so let me know in the comments, what are your experiences? I'm sorry that this wasn't solely cat focused. I definitely go on tangents. I'm definitely a chatter and a talker, and I lose my train of thought. The train is never straight on the tracks, but I want to do more of these because I want to be able to become better at them, because I think they're fun. I like when other people do them. I also do really enjoy just the straight coloring videos with the music, which is mostly what we're going to have over the summer, because, you know, like I said, my kid's going to be home, so I'm not going to be able to do a lot of chatty things. I'm looking for a pencil that I cannot find, and it's fine. I'm just going to date the thing. It's 6/2 right now. Happy June, everybody. I'm just going to put it in the corner here. 6/2/25. And I think that's it. I think I just don't, I like when other people do it, but I don't like when I do too much detail. I feel like it just doesn't come out great. And I'm just a slow learner, I think. Like, definitely no shade there, you know, no shame. It is what it is, you know? What's that phrase? Do your best and forget the rest. I heard that from Tony Horton, the exercise guru. So this is our finished page, and I am happy with how it came out. I'm afraid of bold colors, but I would consider this blue and these particular colors to be bold choices in the lineup. And so these are all the color. It's so funny because when you look at the picture, it almost doesn't look like there's that many colors, but y'all, I can't even fit everything in my hands. It's like crazy. What? So here, if you want to take a screenshot, is are all the colors that we used. I think it's best from here. Good old BR3 over here doesn't want to show up, but BR3 is the one you can't really see that well. And then here's, sort of shows up, but so that's everything. Leaving them out so I can take my little thumbnail pic. Anyway, so that's that. And that concludes our cat moments color and chat. So I will thank you all for being with me. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button. That way the algorithm knows to send this video to other people who like videos like this. And I will see you all in the next video. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, whichever. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.